everybody's in here, so we're going to go ahead and get started. There's only a minute left. There's no real reason to wait around. You guys seem to be ready to get going. So this panel is extending Minecraft through custom content. We have world builders, we have plugins, we have mods. Everybody here is, well, we don't like vanilla. We find that after a certain point, there's nothing to do with vanilla. So we do things to make the game last longer and add more to the game beyond perhaps what Mojang originally intended. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I think we'll start down there on the end with Direwolf, who will be happy to tell you a bit about himself.
Hello, everyone. This is Direwolf20. And so I have a YouTube channel called Direwolf20. And I started my YouTube channel a couple years ago because I was playing Minecraft and I thought it was an awesome game and I was all into it. But like, I'm not a very creative builder, as some people might know. I'm not really good at building things that look nice. So I built a cave, a hole in the ground, and I called it home, and I did a bunch of things, and I was like, all right, what else can I do? And then I found modding, and downloaded a couple mods, Industrial Craft and Buildcraft, and kind of said like, oh, this is cool. How come I didn't know about this already? I'm gonna put a video on YouTube so people can find out about modding. And it got like 10 views, and I'm like, look, now 10 people know about mods, and it's awesome. And then magically, a couple years later, here I am on a panel in front of like all these people who are big into modding, because modding is awesome. It's a way to extend what's already a great game and just add more and more of the same kind of content to what's an amazing game already. So that's me. And then I will pass the microphone down here to MD5.
Hi guys, I'm MD5. I'm the lead developer and administrator of Spigot. So we're a server software community. We make Spigot and also now Craft Bucket for 1.8. So anyone that's running a server for 1.8 or for plugins or anything like that is probably using our software. We have about 55% market share, which is more than the official vanilla server from Mojang, beating them at their own game. So we've been around for 3 years or so now, and we've really started to grow within the last couple of months with the 1.8 update. It's been really good for us. Where we've got a booth down here. If you walk in via N2, turn left, you'll find our booth. Come check us out. Otherwise, if you've got any questions about servers on this panel, I'm the guy to ask. Thank you.
Hi. I'm ArtDude. I'm one of the main administrators on Sortex Founder, which is resource pack, obviously. This is really my main title, really. Nothing special.
Yeah, but if you like texture packs with your mod in Minecraft, this is the guy to thank. He does some of the best ones out there. My name is Brian. I'm with Curse. I'm not really going to talk much about myself, though, because I'm just here to try to keep these guys in line. I don't think I'm going to do very well.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. And I'll pass it over here to the lady in the Ocelot hoodie.
There's two of us.
Well, the one with the mic.
Oh, okay. So I'm Jaded Cat. I make some of the mod.
Anyone having sheep-like flashbacks right now?
I make a couple mod packs for Minecraft, Agrarian Skies, Magic Farm. I've worked with FTB, and I work with Curse now on managing the mods for Minecraft. I've also recently started modding. And Fanver and I have worked together a bit on texture packs, which is fun. So I'm here for the general list. I don't specialize anything. I just kind of do a little bit of everything, mostly because I get bored.
Hi, I'm Cletho. I'm a Twitch live streamer. I've never really played vanilla Minecraft, so I definitely enjoy modded Minecraft. I tried to make the most expensive things in modded Minecraft possible, so that's probably my thing, I guess.
I'm Quetzy. I have a Twitch live stream as well. I've done a little bit on YouTube. I also write a couple of mods, little utility mods, and try and keep the team on Blue Power heading in the right direction. That's the main thing.
Okay, anyone else have anything they'd like to say before we get started taking questions?
No?
Well, that was easy.
Hello. This question is specifically aimed at MD5, and I want to know your thoughts on the bungee cord alternative, Go Lilypad.
Thanks for the question. I think this panel, we're trying to keep it about ourselves, but I think there's lots of different ways that you can implement all sorts of software. However, what I will say in Bungee Cord's favour is that we've been around the longest. We're the most used server software. We're used by Mineplex, which is a 41,000 player server, CubeCraft, 20,000 players, Hypixel, all of those servers. So we do have the largest market share, the most plugins, and we've been around the longest. So I don't see any reason not to use us. Thank you.
I would like to hear all of your opinions on how the expansion, resource packs and mods, has affected the publicity of Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think as many people know, and I'll just go from the modding perspective, right, because that's where I'm coming in. I think it's absolutely helped. I think it's helped a lot with the publicity of Minecraft. I think, as we know, almost all the major YouTubers and streamers these days have at least dabbled or touched on or checked out mods. Some of the most popular servers out there are running modded. Like I said earlier, right, mods kind of just take what's already a really great game and expand upon it and give you more options and more things to do. And I think Brian can probably comment on, there's around 3,000 to 5,000 mods out there at this point.
Yeah, roughly, and if you take into account plugins, there's about 20,000 plugins as well.
Right, so, you know, speaking in that term, Minecraft is a creative game, and not only creative in the sense that you can build really cool things in the game, but you can build really cool things with the game, like mods and plugins and resource packs. So it's just interesting that there's creative outlets in ways that I think even the original creators never anticipated, that people are creating things like along those lines. So I'm gonna stop talking now and pass it on to the next person.
So we do Spigot, which technically not mods, they're plugins, but as Brian mentioned, there's 20,000 different plugins roughly available for servers these days, and that enables servers to do all sorts of cool things, but also within the realms of vanilla clients. So you may not be using the vanilla server, but any player that plays vanilla Minecraft can join this server, and there's all sorts of custom mini games and other things that you can do, especially now with the advent of resource packs, people doing custom models, weapons, swords, all that sort of thing. So I think the underlying message is people start playing Minecraft for vanilla and single player, but then they stick around because of the communities built around the servers and the mods.
So on the resource pack side, the models and everything else we've been creating obviously allows us to do a lot more expansions and changing the way you look at Minecraft. And there's various other resource packs out there. And then we're helping some modders changing the way they do their textures to make it easier for us, and then to make their mods easier and lighter for some people in the resource assets kind of way. But yeah, resource packs definitely help with the expansions.
Jaded?
Hello? Still don't trust that this thing is actually on.
Is it on?
It is. So, mods and resource packs to me are the only reason I kept playing Minecraft. I started playing Minecraft while I was sick, and my friend at the time handed me a copy because, well, he was tired of hearing me bitch about being, laying in bed, not being able to do anything. And I started playing, and my first thought was, okay, somebody's marketing department is really good that they've convinced anybody that a game with this much pixelation is a good thing. Then I started playing, and it was a lot of fun. But eventually I got to a point where I was like, okay, I've got everything, now what do I do? And that was about 24 hours in. and I needed something more to do. And it looked like it was a game that was really interesting, but there wasn't enough to do. So I started looking for mods, and I wanted something that was prettier. So I started looking for resource packs. And I think that's how a lot of people go, is they get started in vanilla, and they reach the point where it's like, well, I've killed the Ender Dragon, and I've got chests and chests and chests of diamonds, and there's nothing else to do. So then mods come in and they give you ways to make factories and ways to create magic spells and new mobs to kill and new pets to tame. And it just makes the game last, well, for me now, it's been lasting for almost 3 years, and I haven't left the game. So I think that's why it's popular, because there's no game out there that people are going to play once, be done in 24 hours, and keep replaying. They need something more to do, and mods provide that. And for people that want pretty, resource packs provide that. For people who want to be able to combine with their friends, plugins provide it. And that makes it the perfect game for everything you could want.
I would say because they make Minecraft pretty, because that's the only reason I started playing. It's probably the only reason I continue to play. It's a great game, but I never played the vanilla. I was never interested in the vanilla aspect of Minecraft. I think I only started playing at all because of Jaded, one of Jaded's mod packs that she forced me to play. And I was like, actually, this is probably quite fun and pretty. So that's it was definitely the beauty factor.
Being last in line, I think most people have got everything else covered. But basically, I think mods, there are some mods out there that will actually draw new players into the game that wouldn't otherwise play. The variety of mods that are out there means that you can basically take the game and play it as an adventure mode, trying to survive against hordes of mobs coming at you, or play a much more creative puzzle type game. You can basically do whatever you want with mods, which means that there's variety out there for everybody, which is going to draw more players in.
So, I mean, it sounds like, at least for us, it's all about the modded Minecraft these days. Is that the same for you guys? Yeah. I mean, does anybody still play vanilla?
Probably the guy over there.
Okay.
He does.
Yeah, so maybe 20% of you.
Yeah. I think all the ones with the Mojang tags still do.
Is that because they have to?
It might be part of their contract.
Okay.
I think they're required to put in so many hours of vanilla game time.
Yeah. Now we're just making stuff up. Anyway, next question, please.
Sorry, Mark.
This is mainly to you, Jaded, but Agrarian Skies, I found that on the FTB launcher, but Agrarian Skies 2 isn't actually on there, and I've seen Direwolf play it, and I've really wanted to look into it and actually start playing that one in particular. How can I find it?
Okay, Agrarian Skies 2 and Magic Farm 3 and all of my current packs are currently on the Curse client. I chose the Curse client because I believe very much in giving back to the mod community. And with having them on the Curse client, when you download my pack, all the mod authors can track the stats from the downloads of my pack. And so they get the count, they know where their mod is being played, and numbers are something they like, being able to see what they get. And if they want to, they can opt in and get some small rewards for having a lot of downloads. And I just like being able to give something back. I can't support every mod author I use, but I can put it on Curse and know that then the mod author gets something out of it. It's also much easier for me to update because since all the mods are there, I can load up the Curse client and I have a little green arrow that says there's a new update for this. And then it sends me an email. And so I get like a whole score of emails of these 20 mods have been updated, and I can update the pack faster. So if you go to Curse Client, it's betacursevoice.com. Yeah. You can download it, and then you turn on the Minecraft portion and the plugins under settings, and then just look for Ag Skies and press install, and it'll be done.
This is directed to everyone. Where did you start, or sorry, where did you hear about Minecraft, and why did you start playing?
Let's start down with Quetzy this time. That way Dyer has nothing to say.
No. It's okay. I'll think of something by the time I get down here.
Where did I hear of Minecraft? I think Minecraft was going for a good year, 18 months before I actually started playing. And then I played vanilla for a little bit. I think for a few weeks I streamed vanilla Minecraft, hardcore I was playing, and got bored of it and switched to something else. I think Skyrim it was at the time. And then I saw Direwolf playing, I forgot his name now, that's terrible, playing on the FTB challenge map. It was the original challenge map, the Bedrock one. And I thought I'd start playing some mods, so I picked up Buildcraft, Industrial Craft, and started playing around with those. And that's pretty much where I started, which was back before the original pyramid map. So 1.1, something like that, is when I started.
I first heard about Minecraft, well, saw Minecraft when one of my little brothers was playing it on the Xbox, and I was like, this is a ridiculous game. He's just putting big blocks on top of each other, and they don't even do anything. So I didn't really take much interest in it until I met you guys, actually. I didn't even really know what it was and what you could do with it until I met these guys through a friend, and that they started me playing, actually. So.
I believe I said earlier I was sick, and somebody wanted me to be quiet for longer and gave me a game so that I would stop whining so much about being sick. And it worked. I stopped whining.
Yeah. Now she just whines about Minecraft. Yeah.
No, I just whine about you.
Close, man.
I kind of should remember when I started, but it's around about 1.1 I started, and then that was back in the days of vanilla, and then it wasn't recently till 1.5, 1.6 I started playing the resource packs, but I started with vanilla and then transitioned to modded through Technic, and then found the ways back to FTV, then now I'm stuck at Curse, so yeah.
So I started playing Minecraft early 1.7 beta around that time. I think I might have heard about it from some friends at school or something like that. Then I went on the Minecraft website and I saw there was this YouTuber called Paul Saws JR. He had a Survive and Thrive series. I watched a bit of that and then bought the game, played on some servers and vanillas for a little bit, and now I just do programming, plugins, supporting the community myself, so yeah.
I played, I don't even remember what version it was, but it was before the Nether, because I remember when I was playing, the Halloween update with the Nether came out. So, or whatever that time frame was, a long time ago. I kind of mentioned how like I did everything I could and then found modded about a year later, I think, or it was probably right around Alpha 1.7, I think is when I really started playing a lot with a lot of the modded stuff, and I had made a couple videos about the mods, like I mentioned earlier, and a lot of the comments on the video started coming in. You should do a Let's Play series on these mods. You should do a Let's Play series. And I had to Google what is a Let's Play series, because I had never heard of that before. And I saw like these people just like playing the game, and I said, why are people just watching other people play Minecraft? But it's apparently like a big thing, so I said, okay, I'll do it. And then that happened. So that's pretty much how I got into it back around the Halloween update that released the Nether.
Thank you. This is a question for Jaded Cat. Why did you make all your packs so evil?
Because I'm a cat, and I don't know if you know this, but cats are evil, and they're planning to take over the world with robot armies.
Hi guys, this is a question for MD5. I was wondering how you could get started creating plugins.
Sorry, what was that?
How you could get started creating plugins.
So the Bucket API, which is what you use to code plugins, has been around for about 5 years now. So there's a whole heap of resources on that. There's the community maintained wiki, both the bucket.org wiki and the Spigot wiki. And then there's also lots of YouTube tutorials, and then on top of that there's also companies that go around to schools and events and stuff that will actually teach you in a couple of days courses how to get started coding plugins as well. So yeah, and we've got a really helpful community both on the forums and on IRC chat rooms, and if you ask your question there, if you're struggling with anything, they will be more than happy to help you.
This is kind of a question for everybody. The skills that you learn from making or using custom content, whether it be texture packs, mods, plugins, or anything, the skills that you learn, do you think those skills can definitely be used in real life?
I don't know if you guys want me to actually answer that one.
Yeah, I think you should answer. I think Brian should answer this one.
Yeah, so I actually got my start modding other games, and now 9 years later, I have a career as an IT director for Curse.com. So those skills that I learned having to do all that directly led into changing my life in just about every facet. And I think that goes true for just about everybody up here in some way, form, or fashion. Yep. None of us would be here in London, and none of us are from London without, or I don't think any of us are, but, but none of us would be here without games and the modding side of it.
And I'll touch on that too if you want. I think a lot of what's going on this weekend is around teaching using Minecraft. So I think there's definitely a potential for Minecraft skills to relate to real life skills. Directly from a modding perspective, I know there's this mod Computercraft. I don't know if anybody's heard of it. And that mod's, one of its primary focuses is to teach kids who are playing Minecraft how to write code in Lua, which is a scripting language. But that's a nice introductory language for programming. So it's an amazing tool to help people learn how to, translate skills to real life applications. So yes. Short answer, yes.
on a non-coding and IT related note, I've touched on it in some of my streams. At the time that I started playing Minecraft and started getting into custom content with games, I was a shut-in at home because I have a back injury that makes it difficult for me to do things at times. And I really had no hope of ever being employed again or doing anything because it's hard for me to stay upright for too long without a chair or a cane. But getting involved in custom content with Minecraft ended up giving me a whole new community of people to talk to where they don't necessarily judge you based on, do I look normal? Am I able to go around and do the stuff that normal people can do? They're more concerned about, what are we like as people? And that for me was the part that I love about Minecraft. And that's what has changed my life the most, is being able to do something that beyond what I could do normally. But it doesn't have anything to do with code.
Well, this question is more addressed to the Spigot team, I mean. I have heard of another server API that is Cauldron that is based on the Craft Bucket and Forge. And it's actually, I think, the only API that currently allows players server owners to combine both Craft Bucket and Forge APIs in one server. So what is your opinion about this?
So this is something that's less applicable at the moment now since the Spigot team has taken over the development and maintenance of Bucket and Craft Bucket. But originally, Spigot started out as a fork of Craft Bucket that provided additional features and additional performance. And then the guys that came along with this idea that let's combine Bucket with the Forge API decided to base their work off Spigot as opposed to Craft Bucket because of the additional features and performance that we had. And the performance especially was important for them as mod authors because once you start piling in lots and lots of mods, you can suffer performance issues, which Spigot helped to rectify for them.
Hi, as a parent of a Minecrafter who I think prides herself on running as many mods as possible, I have constant concerns about malware, and I was wondering your opinions on malware being embedded in mods and how we could best protect ourselves from it.
That's a good question. I don't know if you want to take that one, Brian, because that's a pretty... I'm not supposed to be talking. Okay, so I will speak for Brian, and I will say there's a couple reliable places to get mods from that you should definitely seek. One of the most reliable is the Curse client, which Jaded mentioned earlier. And Brian can speak to this as well if he wants, but I'll speak for him. There's a team of people who are responsible for doing malware and virus scans before that gets public. So the basic process is somebody uploads a mod to CurseForge. An actual person, an employee of Curse, checks that to make sure there's nothing embedded in it, and then allows it to be publicly available. Another reliable resource is the FTB launcher. Those are for mod packs. You can't get individual mods through there. And then those are the two most reliable ways that I would recommend probably going about it. And I'll let MD5 talk.
So I'll just go on that issue. We don't make any promises that plugins will be reviewed or checked for any sorts of malware, but what we find does happen is the community often looks at these sort of things, and if something is found, it's generally found very quickly, meaning that there probably isn't any malware out there. But again, no promises, but you can be pretty assured that it's safe.
And just the one other thing I'll mention is, aside from those two sources that I mentioned earlier, the official Minecraft forums, look for a forum post that is from the actual mod author. That is another place where usually it will link to CurseForge, but there are other websites though that will take the mods and then rehost them, and those sometimes will contain malware. So just avoid any other sites besides the official Minecraft forums, and Curse or Feed the Beast is probably what my recommendation would be.
Next question.
With the addition of armor stands in 1.8, there has been a rush of vanilla mods that use tons of lines in one command block and are executed. What do you think about those?
Are we talking 1.8 mods or 1.7 mods adding 1.8 features?
No, he's talking about command blocks.
Yep. So I've
vanilla command blocks?
They add.
None of us actually play vanilla. So most of us are still on modded on 1.7. So
I've heard of them though. So
I believe Seth Bling was explaining command blocks to me yesterday, and I kind of was like, "You do what?"
Yeah,
I've
seen the videos.
The so-called mods work is they add new mobs or items and such using armor stands and crafting recipes executed inside of dispensers and such. It's all very confusing.
Yeah, I saw a video where they did an agara.io clone inside of Minecraft using command blocks.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, they're interesting. They seem very complicated and confusing and convoluted, and like it could be done a lot easier with like some Java code.
But I think it's just another example of people being really creative with the tools they've been given, right? I mean, everything about this panel, right, is about people who are taking the tools they have, be it the ability to, do Forge modding or plugin APIs or resource packs, but that's just another example of here's command blocks. They were never designed to do what you're talking about, which is creating items and crafting recipes, but somebody figured out a way to do it, and now there's this thing called vanilla modding, which is counterintuitive and an oxymoron, but it exists, right? So it's just the creativity of this community that people find weird and interesting ways to do things new all the time. And I think we mentioned Seth Bling already, but he's an example of weird and interesting things that nobody expected Minecraft to do, right? So
well, I think that's what all of us do. Is
exactly.
We
all of
don't
us
think
do that.
none of us. Yep, no offense, Mark. None of us think we should be limited to just what the game designer originally intended.
Yeah.
We want to do different things, and that's what they've done. Yeah. And if they're happy, that's awesome.
So I think in summary is we don't know what they are, we don't know how they work, but they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question.
What were they again?
I have no idea.
Something command block.
Hi, this is for MD5. I was hoping you could talk about what or if you have planned adding any more inter-server utilities or commands to BungieCord.
So BungieCord is, for those who aren't familiar with it, it's the software that links lots of different servers together. So once upon a time, servers were reasonably small affairs. I know when I started playing Minecraft, I played on 1 or 2 servers, and they sort of capped out at about 70 players, and I thought, wow, 70 players on a server, what a crowd this is. But then came along larger servers, and bungee cord. You had servers that, such as Minecraft survival games, to name one, where if you wanted to join a specific server, you'd go into US lobby 7, US lobby 72, whatever, and that all got quite complicated. Then bungee cord allows you to transfer between these different servers without actually ever leaving your client. So that's what bungee cord is, used by all the big people. 41,000 players is currently the record. But in terms of longevity for bungee cord, we've sort of reached the point where everything that people want added has been added, and there's a lot of freedom for servers to use our API to build upon that and create their own platform. That being said, we are continuing to maintain it and incrementally adding new features, new APIs, more stability, and of course keeping it updated for subsequent Minecraft versions. So, yeah.
Are there any mods that add a certain amount of content that is acceptable but doesn't lag out the game as much as normal mods do?
There's a lot of mods that do that. The general thing isn't one mod that'll do it. There's very few single mods on their own that will lag out your game. It's generally large numbers of mods or mod packs that are going to do that. If you're looking for like a mod that just adds just enough content and not too much, Progressive Automation or Tinker's Construct are good ones to get started with. If you want a pack, FTB Lite is good. There's several lightweight packs that are specifically geared towards being non-laggy and having a lot of content, and that's where I'd suggest starting, is with the mods in those.
Hello, this is for all of you, basically. With all the content that is out there, do you feel that there's any areas that are lacking, like if there's a specific mod that you'd like to have that you haven't yet really seen, or plugin, or any sort of resource pack that you haven't really seen that you personally would really love to see?
I need more Star Wars ones. I promised somebody a Star Wars pack, and I'm finding that apparently there aren't that many Star Wars themed things in Minecraft. So apparently I'm going to have to use a lot of localization and code some stuff myself. So if anybody wants to do Star Wars, lightsabers, we need lightsabers.
I mean, I think this is one of those questions where the answer is going to be universally yes, we need more, but, you know, so.
So I mentioned early on I'm not very creative. So I've never been able to answer the question, like, I've gotten similar ones, like, if you could write a mod, what would it be, or what would you want written? I'm like, I don't know. I'll play any mod, really, as long as it's cool and has fun and maybe looks neat. And, but yeah, there's a lot of potential out there because, like we've said, like, it's just a very creative community. So there's every time I think I've seen it all, I see something new, and I'm like, whoa, that is like something I wouldn't even have expected. And then it's all of a sudden really popular, and that's why. So yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of potential for more and new things out there. There's definitely not a limit to what's possible.
If you're looking for like areas that there just aren't very many mods in, there aren't a lot in the true PvP type stuff beyond just here's like 60 different metals with swords. There's not a lot in the combat range. That's one that could use some more work. If you're bored and you want to code something.
In terms of like resource packs, recently with 1.8, with the new model system, allows us to create, we can completely change a normal block into a 3D block, and it's given us a lot more power into what we can create in creativity minds. And a lot of resource packs are slowly merging into it. The biggest example currently would be Sfax, because they've got a larger team than what Sortex does. But we're slowly engaging with our community to see what types of 3D models you guys want. And then obviously being Sortex being a community pack, we're listening to what you want. And then obviously with the 3D system, we can create anything we want, obviously in bounds to what Mojang gives us. But yeah, definitely have a lot more power now.
Thank you for your question.
This is for all of you. How long does it take to update a mod after an official Mojang release?
See, I think Quetzi has the most modding experience up here.
Yeah. But you could chime in now, because it's not that big program, right?
That really depends a lot on what the mod is and what the updates have changed. The mods that I do, my little server mods, I can generally update them in like 10 or 15 minutes to a new version because they're really small. But then some other mods, you will understandably, they're going to take weeks of updating to try and sort out. So it all depends on what's changed and what the mod touches.
Yeah, so I'll just chime in on that part of it. So we've got Craft Bucket and Spigot that we need to update. I don't have the numbers with me, but from my recollection, 1.8 was around 60,000 lines of changed code. So it is certainly a substantial effort to update our software for the new Minecraft releases. And it's not just the code itself that we have to update. We've also got to rework our tooling for each Minecraft release, and also a major aspect is the deobfuscation of the Minecraft code. So we sort of have to take what Mojang has obfuscated to like AAA.class and deduce that that is block chest, and we need to do that for every class and lots of fields and lots of methods. So that's, I think we've got about 4,000 mappings that we need to go through each update, look at those mappings and figure out what they are. So to answer your question, it is a lot of work for us.
I have a question. How would you get on Forgecraft?
Next question, thank you.
I believe
it's really
the
simple. We're going
answer-
to talk to Pahimar tonight, and we're going to give him your name.
Yeah. So iTunes, everyone, of
He's
such
already on
mods as
Forgecraft.
Portal Gun and Doors and too many to name, but they're all crazy and pig related.
Yeah, that Portal Gun mod, that's him.
Yeah, the Portal Gun mod is probably one of his more popular. And, to answer your question, iTunes holds the keys to Forgecraft, so just message him directly on.
Okay, no, I don't.
After this panel is over, iTunes will be standing outside. He will be handing out applications for Forgecraft. Please
Yeah, so
see
walk up
after
to him
the
and
panel.
ask, and that would probably be the best.
Alright, on a serious note though, how would you guys get started on mods?
Sure. I don't know, so I'll ask Quetzy and I will ask MD5 to talk about plugins because I don't know. Or Jaded even, because she just started on mods.
How did I get started on mods? Basically, well, I explained earlier that I started playing following on from an FTB stream, watching Dyer playing on the first Monument map. In terms of actually writing mods, I kind of got called out by Sarge for not getting my workspace working, and then I kind of had to because he called me out on stream. So I didn't really have much choice. I had to write a mod, so I wrote Morpheus, and that's basically where I got started.
What was the question again? How did you get started in mods?
She doesn't make mods.
I would. Oh yeah, but I play them.
Oh, okay. I thought we could make, but it's good. It's good. We love you.
I would say don't do what I did and play one of Jaded's packs. Start one mod at a time.
The sheep didn't kill you the first time.
Yeah, I still have flashbacks.
So I got started in mods in making them, playing them obviously was the thick question earlier. In making them I got started because I was having a lot of problems with MineTweaker on this latest Agrarian Skies, which wasn't MineTweaker's fault. It's just that what I needed to do was beyond what MineTweaker could do. And at that point it became a either I made my own mod or I gave up on what I was trying to do. So I just went, okay, fine, and made a mod.
So I got started in plugin development shortly after I started playing Minecraft, and shortly after I started playing on this server, what actually happened is they had this plugin that allowed you to lock your chest so that no one else would be able to access your chest. But then as I was playing, I found this way that I could actually get around into other people's chests. So I took this plugin, it was open source, and I took a look at the code, and then I fixed this issue and submitted the changes to the developer, and that's how I got into creating plugins.
Thank you.
Thank you. This question is more directed to the mod developers. With the new 1.7 and 1.8 features, like for example today they showed dual wielding, and there are already mods that do that. How does it change those mods?
As far as the dual wielding goes, I think there's already a couple of different mods that already add that to the game. I know during the last Mod Jam competition we had a dual wield mod, and I think Battle Gear does dual wielding as well. So those kind of features, it would just mean that presumably, or I'm guessing, because I don't work on those mods, that it will be a bit easier for those mods to kind of integrate their other features into the dual wielding, because a lot of the code's there already.
So I don't play a whole lot of mods that add custom content to the game, but just in terms of what I think will happen to these mods, either what will happen is everything that the mod developer imagined will be integrated into Minecraft, and the mod developer will give up development of those mods, or the alternative that will happen is that the mod developer will move on to other things in sort of the same way. So if you've got somebody that's coded dual wielding for Minecraft, then instead of focusing on dual wielding, he might work on another different PvP aspect, so maybe tweak bows or something like that. And an example of where I've sort of seen this happen before is before Minecraft added creative mode, there were some mods called Too Many Items, and I think there's Not Enough Items as well. And those mods were, you would think they were superseded by creative mode, but they've actually continued on, and I think they're still around to this day, albeit in slightly different forms.
Yeah, when you have an aspect of a game that gets, or a mod that gets pulled into the game, it allows the mod to simplify a lot of times, and you'll see that too.
Yep, I believe the pistons were originally a mod, correct? And the new 1.8 feature that allows blocks to move when they're attached to the slime blocks with pistons was a mod. So there have been actually current features of the game that were originally mods. And it really depends on what the mod was, right? Like pistons, I think, was mostly just pistons. Ender chests, I think, was a mod before it was added to the game originally. But ender chests have kind of morphed, and a ender chests mod has a slightly different feature set than the vanilla ender chest. So sometimes they adapt and just become different. Sometimes it just takes over. It really depends on the mod.
Thank you. Also, Jaded, earlier you said you were looking for a Star Wars pack. I happen to know of a pack called Dreamcraft, which basically does the whole Star Wars thing. So I would suggest looking at those mods. Thank you.
I will look that up.
This is a question for MD5. I was wondering how much dedicated WAM does a Bungie COD server need?
I have a feeling there's going to be an opening at Spigot.
I was actually half expecting someone to come up with this joke earlier, but to answer your question in a serious manner, what we advise for Bungie COD is it's pretty lightweight in terms of RAM usage. So we figure minimum 256 megabytes of RAM. That'll get you up to about 500 players. And then from that, you can just add half a megabyte for every player that you plan on holding. And that is, of course, without plugins. If you have extra plugins, you may need more RAM. So, yeah.
Jaded's already touched on this briefly, but I'm wondering what the panel's opinion is on developer retention, especially in a EULA change world where a lot of modding developers have now sort of left the community and the Skyrim Steam debacle. So basically, what's your opinion and the best way to keep modders modding, basically?
How to keep modders modding when things are changing. There honestly is not a good way to keep people doing it, because for most people this is a hobby. I can't actually think of anybody where the making of mods is like what they do for a living. And when it comes to, okay, but you're probably not making much of a living. When it comes to doing hobbies, they ebb and flow. You're going to have a hobby for a while, and eventually you're probably going to end up moving to another hobby, and then you may come back and forth. And I think what people have to get used to is the idea that mods are going to change and that we can't force the modders to stay. All we can do is hope that the mods will continue forward either through community use or by the modder finding a successor who can carry it forward.
And I'll just say, I think the community showing appreciation and respect for the effort, the level of effort put in by modders or plugin authors or plugin maintainers like the Spigot team, who just talked about how much effort goes into making these things. So the community recognizing that and just having appreciation for the level of effort that they put in and the very little reward they get out of it, I think will help them to stick around. They'll, the community loving them, I think, is just a good incentive.
See, same for like resource packs, specifically with Sword Expander originally back in the old days, was originally ran by Soar. And then he went on a vanishing period, and then some life issues came up, and then he didn't completely abandon the project, but it just became a hole. And then the community realized that obviously it was a brilliant pack, and then Sword Expander community became a thing. And then it sort of ties in like with the whole mods. Like if the community sees that it's something worth saving, then obviously the community will stand up, take it over, and then continue creating it for what people love and enjoy.
I mean, the one thing is although it's a hobby for a lot of people, if there's a little bit of a financial incentive, then people will maintain interest for longer than they otherwise would sometimes. So if you just make sure you download from the author's official kind of page or site where they direct you to, then that will generally help them out. If you like a mod, tweet to the author. They really appreciate being told that people like their mod. And most authors also have Patreon as well, so if you want to help them out financially, you can do it that way too. They all enjoy having a little extra pennies to spend.
Yeah, I think it's it. The best mods never really die. Just somebody else starts maintaining them.
Question for Q. What's the current state of Blue Power, and are there what future features are to come involved with it?
The current state of Blue Power right now is we are reasonably stable, crash-free. There are things that don't work quite how we want them to, and in terms of what features we have coming, we have some integrated circuits almost done, I think. Amadorns is over there shouting out what's ready. We're hoping to do some kind of liquid crafting mechanic, a little bit like Tinker's Construct, but not quite like Tinker's Construct. And there's a big one. We've got rubber as well planned. Power. I'm not sure whether we're going to do power, because we've been waiting for that for a year, and the dev that's working on that is a little bit slow. So hopefully power is coming. We've actually got some really good ideas with actually making it look a lot like the Tesla coil kind of lightning transfer kind of stuff, which Amadorns has done some rendering work on recently. So hopefully that will be coming soon as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello. I think this question's mainly aimed at Jade. What does it do there? Where is the shameless promotion for FTB Wiki?
It's not his question, it's Chris's.
The shameless promotion of the FTB Wiki.
There's no
do
one
we
from
have an
FTB up
FTB
here.
Wiki person here to do shameless promotion?
It's over there. Yeah.
There is an FTB Wiki, too.
All right. Thank you.
Good enough, thank you.
Can you get animals in Minecraft that you can like right click a block on to camouflage them?
I want to say yes, but I can't remember the name of the mod.
So do you want to
Which one?
camouflage as them? Like, do you want to look like the animal? Because there's a
I
mod for
mean,
that.
like you can camouflage them in your room and tame them and like turn into them as well.
So the mod that lets you turn into them is Morph by iTunes. So basically, any creature or entity you can morph into, and it has this really cool morphing effect as your character like morphs into like a bat or a spider or a skeleton.
It's like you go black and grey and then you like turn into it, because I've seen like adverts on like YouTube about it.
Yep. So that is the Morph mod. So you should check that out and say hi to iTunes because that was his thing. Okay, go for it. Cool.
All right, thank you.
And I'd just like to add, morphing into a mob is the kind of thing that we can do from a server. There's plenty of plugins. I think one's called Disguisecraft, iDisguise, that sort of thing. So server plugins, they generally can't add custom content or blocks to the game, but they are very good and very creative at reusing what's already provided, and disguising into a different mob is one of those things.
Okay, before the panel started, we actually asked Twitter if they had any questions, and they decided to troll us a lot. I'm gonna,
Shocking.
Yeah,
Very shocking.
Yeah, I'm going to try to skip over those. So for the whole panel here, they real quick, we'll just start down there real quick. What's your favorite mod or plugin?
My favourite mod, I think, over the entire time, I would be lying if I didn't say Red Power. Red Power 2. That definitely was the one that allows me to do a lot more than I could otherwise do.
Any magic mod, really. I don't really have a favorite magic mod, but I just love magic mods.
No, 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 no. I love all the mods, all of them. I want all of them. I do not have a favorite. They're all mine.
Okay, thanks for the cop-out. Yep, Art?
My favorite is a recently new one, immersive engineering. It's definitely taken a new perspective in power generation and how it's doing things, and it's definitely looking forward to what's coming out soon for it.
Unfortunately, I can't actually answer this question because I don't play modded Minecraft and I don't run a server myself.
Oh, they said our plugin.
So I'll do a shameless plug and say I really love Spigot and Bungee Cord. Really good. You should download them. Give them a try.
My favorite mod is the Direwolf 20 pack. I hate that question almost as much as Jaded does. Can I list several mods? Does that count? Some of my favorites, and there are many. Applied Energistics is a really cool mod. Britannia is a really cool mod. Thaumcraft. There's just a ton of them. Yeah. Too many to list. So yeah, they're all really good.
Dirt to diamonds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sidecraft.
Yeah. When's that coming out?
2020.
Yeah. Oh, you heard it here. Next question is for MD5. It's, will Spigot and Bungee be easier to get in the future without build tools? And if not, will build tools be easier to use?
So this is a very specific question to the way that we distribute our content. So Bungee Cord is, not sure what that question's about there. Bungee Cord is dead easy to use. You download it, you double click, you run it, all of that. And then build tools, what he's referring to is the current method of distribution for Spigot. And really, I do think it is already quite easy to use. You download it, you install one extra program called Git, and then you you run build tools, and 10 minutes later you've got your Spigot server there. So I don't think it's can get really much easier. It's already very easy to use, but certainly in the future we will be looking at ways that we can perhaps streamline that process regardless.
Sorry, I'm having trouble getting past all the troll questions. Yeah, please.
A lot of people, when they run mods, look for the end content of the mod and try to progress to those as quickly as possible. Do you find things like HQM help with gating the content that's within the mod to slow people down, or does that change the way that you build or develop a mod?
HQM is really good for creating that end game feeling as well as gating. I think there's other mods that are better at gating. HQM is better at giving you a path to get to the end game and creating a new end game in the way of the quests. But end game is always such a personal thing. Different people think it's different things. For some people, it's I killed the Ender Dragon. For some people, it's I mined the entire Nether. For me, it's I like to have one of those really big chests that holds like 3 billion, and I want to have one of those of everything in alphabetical order, color coded.
Yeah, I think
I
like
have a hoarding
Minecraft is
problem.
Minecraft's a bit of like a sandbox game, right? So endgame, like Jaded said, is different from everybody's perspective. So some people like to progress slowly, other people like to rush to the end game. It's really that's the game of Minecraft, right? Play it how you want, do whatever you want. But yeah.
Thank you. So the next question we have here is kind of a long-winded one, and that's when do we think we'll see 1.8 or 1.9 mods, or are we on 1.7 forever? Quetzy?
Well, most of my mods are already on 1.8. Blue Power is currently not, but a big part of the reason for that is because we're still kind of getting the features in. And it's easier to test on a version of Minecraft that people are actually playing still, in terms of mods. I think though that there are quite a few of the larger mods that are working in the background to get ready for 1.8 or a move to 1.8. I know there are a couple that aren't planning to update to 1.8 and just skip straight to 1.9, but I think for the most part some of the bigger mods are going to start coming out fairly soon.
I think just from my perspective, Spigot's been updated for around about 8 months now. I don't know, it's been a long time. I've sort of lost track of time. And the good thing about plugins is in most cases, plugins don't need updating between different versions of Minecraft. So you can use plugins from 1.1 beta if you're whenever. You can use plugins from really old versions of Minecraft on the latest version of Spigot, so that's not something that you need to worry about. It's just a personal preference. Some servers like to stay on 1.7. I hear there were some PvP mechanic changes that are causing quite a bit of a stir. And then just looking towards the future, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know exactly what Mojang is doing under the hood for 1.9, but once they do start coming out with snapshots and preview releases, I certainly want to see Spigot updated as soon as possible so that people can continue using those plugins once the full release is made.
And what will probably be our last question, this is one for the whole panel. Do you prefer structured mod packs like HQM content, or do you prefer freeform content? Dyer?
That's a tough question. I kind of like both, because right now I'm playing both, right? Like I have a creative, just play and have fun world, and I also am playing the Agrarian Skies world. The HQM style mod packs definitely give you a different approach to the game, and I think that's something we didn't really touch on too much in this panel yet, is like the custom maps, which is another one of those creative outlets that, be it modded or vanilla or plugins, I mean, there's a lot of custom maps, like everybody's heard of like the Vex maps and stuff like that, right? So maps like HQM maps just are another creative way to explore Minecraft in a way that wasn't really intended to be played. So both?
Yeah, and B5, how does this question apply to you?
It doesn't apply to me at all. It's not a question that I can answer. I'm sorry.
He likes Minecraft, okay, yeah.
I prefer structured mod packs, but I design a couple, and then we make sure everyone's lives are hell while playing it. I'm not a whole fan of unstructured, like kitchen sink packs. Most of them are dubbed as. But yeah, structured are my kind of favorite thing.
I think most people are familiar with my opinion of kitchen sink.
Yes.
It's a very professional, technical opinion. But that's not to say I don't like unstructured packs. I just prefer that a pack shows some restraint in its list, so it's not too hard for computers to run. I don't actually really have a preference. I have a preference for what I make, which is I like to make things I want to play. But I don't think HQM is the only mod that can add structure. There's HQM. I think we could probably make an unstructured HQM pack. I think Regrowth is pretty unstructured. So I think the question is more, is it about whether or not you're just left free to do whatever you want, or if there is some sort of guidance. And in that case, I also like both. I've got Magic Farm 3, which doesn't have any guidance. You're just thrown into a world where the sheep eat you and the horses try and skin you alive. And then there's Agrarian Skies, where you have a long list of quests to complete to get to the final end project. So both are good.
I prefer unstructured packs because I like to do whatever the heck I want. Bad word. Heck isn't a bad word.
Let her finish.
You've been told. In terms of general playing, I actually prefer the more kitchen sink packs. Sorry, Jaded. But one pack that I do keep going back to is the retro map. The original, well, not the original, the second, the big pyramid, basalt pyramid map. That one I keep going back to without fail every year.
Okay, and MD5 says he now has an answer.
So I did figure out a way that I can answer this question, at least anecdotally. When first starting a server with Spigot and running plugins, the temptation for a lot of people is to immediately put in 60, 70, 80, 90, even 100 different plugins into their server. You have factions, MCMO, just chuck it all in there. But I think the servers that do better over time are the ones that take some time to carefully think, what do we want from this server, how are we going to manage this server, and what is the objective in mind. So to answer that question, I think structure is best.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be our last question. So thank you all for coming. And before we say goodbye, though, I know we have a lot of people in this audience that make modded and plug-in Minecraft possible. So if those guys could just raise their hands or stand up, and I would like to give them a round of applause. Thank you, everyone.
And I was just going to mention briefly that speaking of the mod authors, there will be a panel for mod authors at 3:30 today, mining the code. So make sure to swing by there if you're interested in hearing the mod authors themselves, jump in and talk about what they do and how they do it and that kind of stuff. That's the plug.
Okay, and the absolute last thing, we will not be staying on the stage here, so you can't come up here and talk to Dyer. He's going to go down out front because they have to clear this room. So he'll be out front, and y'all can go talk to Dyer out there.
Yeah, we'll all be downstairs.
You can go talk to everyone out there.
Yeah, but mainly Dyer. We all know the truth.
Everyone. Thank you, guys.